Happy Coffee Talk Monday. Dr. Michelle coming at ya. How are you? I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about sleep. Why is that? Well, the topic has come up with a couple of clients, and I thought it might be a good subject today. Sleep, sometimes it can be quite an elusive thing, yeah? Am I going to get it? Am I not going to get it? What's going to happen? And we start to think about it, especially when it's not happening. And then when we're laying in bed and we're not getting to sleep, our brains start going and feeding itself, and it can be a crazy hot mess. Yeah. One of my clients recently has talked a lot about competing and being in that headspace, and the headspace sort of being like, well, I got a race tomorrow and I'm not falling asleep, so I'm not going to have enough sleep. So what's going to happen tomorrow? I'm not going to race well, ... Yeah. I don't know if you've been there, but I for sure have been there. And that is not a good situation. Not a good situation. You've probably heard me talk about the more we resist, the harder things get. Yeah. So trying not to resist in this situation, though hard, is incredibly important. But let me back it up. I think the first thing that is critically important is realizing that sleep hygiene, that word's a little funky, isn't it, is important and it is helpful. I have had to do it for myself. So this means no screens an hour before bed. I used to love to fall asleep with the TV on. Love, love, love it. And that's not why I was having trouble falling asleep, but when I developed some sleep habits that were better, it was really helpful. So reading before bed, and actually now I love reading before bed. You could also meditate before bed. You could probably do a little writing before you go to bed. But sleep, in a way, is sort of similar to preparing for competition. How do you get your head in the right headspace before you're going to go to sleep? So that also includes moving away from this thinking of like, oh my gosh, am I going to fall asleep? What's going to happen tonight? Am I going to get good sleep? Am I going to get my 8 hours? No. That language is not going to lead to good sleep. Ever. So figuring out what you want to do with that conversation is going to be really helpful, right? Because that's what takes you into your sleep. And then when you are laying in bed, again, combating those thoughts that lead to not good sleep. Breathing, focusing on your breath. Doing what I call progressive muscle relaxation. And again, like I do this where I'm focused on just breathing into my muscles and relaxing them. And I go through the whole body, head to toe. Sometimes I go down one side and I feel my body on the bed, and then I come up the other side. And I do it again. And sometimes I do it a third time. And sometimes I get distracted with those thoughts and I bring myself back and go through it again. Yeah, so trying not to be in that resistant place, but in that place that's helping facilitate sleep. Now, here is the third important thing. After a bit of time, if you're still struggling with the thoughts around sleep, can't get into like the breath or the progressive muscle relaxation, turn the light on and go back to reading or writing or meditation. Some people also do a little bit of yoga. Restorative yoga is good. Sometimes you reach a point where laying there is no longer helpful. So turn the light on and do something else. Not with a screen. I know. I feel like a mother now. No screens before bed. But they really are bad for us before bed. So thinking about those moments before you're going to go to bed and figuring out what you can do and trying to do something different with the thinking around falling asleep, working on falling asleep, right? And trying to figure out what's going to help me to fall asleep. And then third is, after a period of time, if you are not falling asleep, turning on the light and going back to doing what you were doing before you went to bed. And again, trying not to get in that place of resistance. These are all things that I work on with my clients. Yeah, because all of that stuff is not going to be helpful. So you have to figure out what is going to be helpful. Lastly, I just want to say that sometimes it's just about laying there. Sometimes I just lay there and I think, oh, this feels so good. Yeah, that's part of the language conversation change, but it can be helpful as well. So try one thing and see what happens. What's the impact? And if you have thoughts or questions or need anything, let me know. Sleep really is necessary, but getting caught up in how much sleep we're getting does not help us get the sleep that we need. I know it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Yeah. And lastly, the thing about sleep is it is largely mental. Not always, but a lot of the time. This is Dr. Michelle coming at ya. Happy Monday. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Take care.